Sandstorm spinning, black ink dripping, old stone splitting, dead kings listening, midnight digging, lantern flickering, 7 footsteps, but there's only 6 living. Archaeologists staring at a wall with a face, hieroglyphic serpent wrapped around the clock with no hands in the place. One inscription says never disturb what the desert protects. Another says the curse ain't death, it's remembering the debt. Golden chamber, broken hammer, royal banner underneath the sand. Skeleton sitting upright with a ring still clutched inside his hand. No name on the finger, no crown on the skull, only 3 black feathers in a jar that's still full of something nobody wants to identify. Sealed for thousands of years and somehow still alive. One scholar says poison, one says sacred oil, one says the ancient king made a promise that survived through the soil. Then the lights go out and the corridor changes shape. Every doorway that was open suddenly becomes a sealed escape. Footsteps start following, but nobody's behind. Something in the darkness keeps repeating the same line. Return what was taken, remember what was lost. Every kingdom has a price and every crown has a cost. Yeah. Second chamber opens with a pressure from the stone. Inside sits a throne, but nobody sits on the throne. 4 statues facing north, 4 facing south, all of them smiling with their mouths sewn closed. Ancient murals showing a city under stars. People running from shadows while something circles Mars. Maybe it's symbolic, maybe it's only art. Maybe every civilization creates monsters when it's afraid in the dark. But one little figure in the corner doesn't run, standing underneath the moon with its hands toward the sun, holding something shaped like a bird, but nobody knows why. And above that little figure, 7 circles cross the sky. Then the scholar finds a tablet underneath the floor, scratches off the dust and discovers one word more. Not a name, not a warning, not a prayer from the past, just remember, carved deep into the black stone mass. Suddenly the mummy moves, but only inside the painting. Eyes open wide while the ancient ink starts changing. The king in the mural turns his head toward the room, points directly at the living, and whispers through the tomb. You came looking for treasure, but treasure wasn't the prize. You came looking for the dead, now the dead are looking in your eyes. One runs, one freezes, one starts reading aloud. The ceiling starts shaking while the desert gathers clouds. Rain in the Sahara, impossible weather falling. Every grain of sand starts moving like an army crawling. The golden coffin cracks, but there's nobody inside. Only a mirror facing outward with darkness on the other side. And written on the glass in a language nobody taught. The curse is not the mummy, the curse is what you brought. Third archive hidden underneath the oldest foundation. No kingdom on the map, no historical identification. Scholars argue for decades, then the evidence vanishes. Pages burn clean, records erased, nobody knows who managed this. One surviving photograph shows a coffin in a room, surrounded by symbols that resemble stars inside a tomb. Behind the coffin stands a figure with a cloth across its face. But the phonograph is dated before camera existed in that place. Impossible evidence, contradiction in the frame. History says fiction, fiction says history. Both refuse to blame. The mummy was supposedly created to preserve a kingdom of eternity, but another version says it wasn't a king, it was humanity. A warning in the shape of a body wrapped tight, preserving every mistake that people make when they worship power and fight. Curse keeps changing depending who tells the tale. Sometimes it's a pharaoh, sometimes a queen, sometimes a ship that disappeared beyond the veil, sometimes a tomb in the desert where the walls breathe at night. Sometimes it's only superstition designed to keep the greedy out of sight. But every version has one detail that refuses to disappear. 3 black feathers beside the coffin and a whisper nobody wants to hear. What you bury doesn't vanish, it waits. What you hide doesn't die, it changes shape. What you call a curse may only be the past, coming back through the future. Because memories last. Now the final chamber opens, without anybody touching the gate. The room is completely empty except for a mirror and a plate. On the plate lies a single crown covered in dust. No mummy, no treasure, no bones, no proof. Only one sentence carved into the wall that changes the entire truth. The mummy was never cursed. Silence. The curse was the kingdom.